Good evening. This Parent University is designed to help students and families learn more about the college admissions process and to learn more about financial aid. We are especially excited that all of our families can access this information because our great community specialists are here to interpret the information to families that speak many different languages. We know that the college application and financial aid process can be daunting and somewhat overwhelming process for students and families, and we want to make sure we give them the information they need and that they feel supported by their school counselors and by Portland Public Schools in general. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome to Parent University, and my name is Grace Valenzuela. I'm the district's director for communications and community partnerships, and this is our event for today, Understanding the College Application Process. We are doing this in, we're experimenting technology-wise. So the event is being Zoomed in other rooms in this building so that then our families who need interpretation can do and access the meeting in their language so that then they're not, we're doing it all at once, simultaneous interpretation. So we're doing technology to do, so that we can be able to access information for everybody. So with that, I wanted to make sure that our speakers are going to pace their speaking style so that our staff members who are doing the simultaneous interpretation can catch up. So that's one of the things. That's why I'm doing my pacing myself. Modeling. After the presentation, we are going to pause so that then you can write down your questions. It will also give us time to get the questions in the other classrooms. And then we'll put all the questions together and we are going to respond to them. And with that, in terms of housekeeping, I'll introduce you to Stephanie, who is our counselor at Casco Bay.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming. My name is Stephanie Doyle. I'm one of the school counselors at Casco Bay High School in Portland. It's great to see all of you, so thanks for coming out.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming. I'm Libby Heselton, and I'm a school counselor at Deering High School.
And I'm Lori Medeiros. I'm a school counselor at Portland High School.
And I'm Victoria Karen, a counselor at Portland High School.
Hi everyone, I'm Johanna Burden. So we're going to go to our second slide of what we'll cover. Here is an overview of what we'll discuss in this presentation to help you understand more about the college application process. The most important suggestion we can make is for students and families to get to know their high school counselors. School counselors are the resident experts in the future planning process for all students. In the U.S., the term college is used interchangeably with the word university. Both refer to continued schooling beyond high school. We'll talk about types of colleges, timeline, how to get ready, the application process, entrance exams, and test prep, 4 websites to know, and financial aid. Finally, we'll do our best to answer all of your questions at the end of the presentation and to let you know where you can go for more information. There are many types of colleges to choose from. Some of the most common are vocational training schools, community colleges, and 4-year colleges and universities. In the U.S., the terms college and university are interchangeable. Each college has a different application process and provides different opportunities. Vocational training schools prepare you for a specific occupation like cosmetology, fire safety, or some medical careers. You usually earn a certificate in 1 year or less. Thank you. Community colleges are the most affordable institutions of higher education that most closely serve the community and are often very responsive to the needs of the business community. For example, if a community needs more people entering a certain field, it is often the community colleges that will first respond. You can pursue many fields such as auto mechanics, nursing, culinary arts, or liberal arts degrees. They offer 2-year degrees called associate's degrees, and students will sometimes attend community college for 2 years and then transfer to a 4-year college. 4-year college and universities offer bachelor's degrees, and students can major in a variety of subjects like engineering, history, environmental science, education, and many more. Universities also offer advanced degrees and professional programs. Institutions can be public or private. Public colleges and universities are funded by the state they are in and are among the most affordable for residents of that state. Private colleges are funded by donors and tuition, and cost is not about your state of residence. Next, we will talk about timeline, about what students can be doing each year of high school to get ready for college. There are steps you can start in 9th grade. The most important thing is to come to school. Take challenging courses, show up, get involved, do your best. 2- and 4-year colleges expect similar levels of preparation if you do not want to have to take high school level courses in college. Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geometry, and a senior math, possibly more for competitive colleges. English, Social Studies, and Science each year of high school. Level 2 completed of a world language or earn the seal of biliteracy for 4-year colleges and likely more competitive colleges for that world language piece of things. What you do in high school makes a difference in college. Taking rigorous courses like those suggested above helps you be ready for college and college level classes. If your student is preparing for 4-year colleges really like students to have taken honors and AP level classes. Students should also begin thinking about where they want to go, what programs they are interested in, and what schools offer those opportunities. Build a relationship with your school counselor and other trusted adults who understand the college process. Parents are welcome to meet with counselors in any grade, but starting in grades 9 or 10 when planning for college can make a lot of sense. Next. Colleges want students who meet their academic standards and who are active outside of the classroom with sports, clubs, activities at their high schools, or in the community. Colleges also like students to volunteer and do understand when students have to work and when students have family responsibilities. Students with work and family responsibilities can look for school activities that occur during the school day. In their activities, students should look to eventually become leaders. Next is junior year. Students in their junior year are really starting to see that there is life after high school, and they are beginning to prepare for that. Grades in challenging classes matter. These grades are the last grades on the transcript that is sent to colleges. For most students, junior year is the first opportunity to take early college classes. These allow students for a small fee to begin earning college credit while still in high school. We'll talk in a moment about testing, but the school will sign you up for your junior year PSAT and your first SAT, which will be used to apply to college. School counselors are coming into classrooms, talking about Naviance and the college search process. Counselors teach students about the college application process in school, but students can also meet anytime with their counselor. Also, parents and caregivers can meet with school counselors to help their student with post-secondary planning. Junior year is the time for students and families to begin doing college research and creating a college list. During your junior year, try to go on a college visit. There are many local universities, so we recommend parents and caregivers ensure you take an official visit to a college.
Before senior year, we recommend students sign up for honors, AP, and early college classes. Write a draft of their college essay, continue volunteer work, and lead. We also recommend that they talk with adults about their careers, ask 2 teachers for letters of recommendation, and begin the common application. One of the hardest parts of the application process is deciding which schools to apply to. Things to consider are location, type of school, 2 or 4 year, the size of the school, possible majors, cost, especially the net cost, diversity, atmosphere, learning supports, and your academic record and test scores. We recommend students choose stretch, good bet, and safety colleges for both academics and net cost. A stretch school means you may not or likely may not meet the minimum application criteria. Your grades and scores are lower than the college's averages. A good bet means your grades and scores are in the average range for the college. A safety means your grades and scores are above the average for the college. As you are searching for schools, there are many resources available to help you decide which colleges are right for you. We like the Supermatch search engine in Naviance, the school career and college system all Portland Public School, high school students have access to. We also recommend using Niche, which is a website which grades colleges on different factors and includes student reviews of the college. Big Future is the College Board's search engine and allows searching by a large number of factors. Students and families should utilize net price calculators on each college's website because costs are another important factor in decision making. Visiting colleges and career fairs are another great way to learn about colleges. Visiting colleges is very important and will be covered later in the presentation. These are the parts of the complete application to a 2-year and a 4-year college. For a 2-year college, the application is on the college's website. It is short, usually 2 or 3 pages long. It does not require an essay or letters of recommendation, but will require a fee. Ask your school counselor for a fee waiver if needed. Most 2-year colleges will want you to take the AccuPlacer test, or you can submit your SAT scores via the College Board website. For a 4-year college, you need to complete the application online at the Common App website or at the college's own website. Most colleges will require SAT or ACT test scores sent directly to the college from the student's College Board or ACT account. Some colleges do not require test scores as part of admission. Most 4-year colleges require students to write an essay. 2 teacher recommendations and a counselor recommendation are needed. When submitting the application, students or families will need to pay the application fee or have secured a fee waiver. To receive financial aid, students need to complete the FAFSA, which is the free application for federal student aid, and possibly another financial aid form called the CSS Profile. We will talk more about the financial aid process later in the presentation. Now we are going to discuss testing as it relates to college admission. Students take the practice SAT, the PSAT, in grades 9, 10, and 11 at school. The PSAT scores are returned in December. Students can find out which questions they answered correctly and which they missed. Using Khan Academy, students can link their PSAT results and get free customized practice lessons for the SAT. Students can also take a free in-person test prep class called Let's Get Ready if they are eligible. In April of their junior year, students sit for the real SAT test during the school day. Schools register the students and pay for this April test. These scores are real scores and are reportable to the colleges you apply to. Most students who are applying to 4-year colleges should plan to take the SAT a second time in the fall of their senior year in order to improve their scores. Students wishing to take the SAT a second time will need to register for the SAT on the College Board website. Again, see your school counselor if you need a fee waiver. Other admissions test option is the SAT, the American College Test, or the ACT. And we'll talk about some of the differences between these 2 tests. Before we talk about the differences between the SAT and the ACT, some students applying to highly competitive colleges will want to plan to take the SAT subject tests if a college requires them. Advanced placement, or AP courses, are college-level courses offered at our high schools, usually in the junior or senior year. At the end of the AP course, students take a test to show their competence in that subject. The scores from AP tests can help students be more competitive for four-year college admission and help students earn college credit. A very small number of our students choose to take the ACT. Students sometimes score differently on the ACT and ACT tests, and there are some things that differentiate these tests. The SAT tests reading, writing, and math. You can register to take an additional SAT on a Saturday morning, available once per month. The test takes about 4 hours, and you get a reading, writing score and a math score. The ACT test takes a similar amount of time and tests English, math, and science, and the questions tend to be more straightforward.
And now we'll talk about applying. Students usually apply to 3 to 10 schools, including at least one reach, one good fit, and one safety. Safety, good fit, and reach schools are different for every student based on grades and test scores. Excuse me. The application for admission asks questions about the student and their family, courses they're taking, activities and sports they've participated in and out of school, and awards they have won. In many cases, students will also have to complete a personal essay of no more than 650 words, and sometimes additional short essays or questions. There is also usually an application fee ranging from about $20 to $70 per school, though some schools do not charge the fee, and students can be eligible for fee waivers. Counselors also send student transcripts, fill out school reports, and write and send a letter of recommendation. Students usually also need to ask 1 to 3 teachers for a letter of recommendation, which the teacher sends directly to the college. Many schools require test scores as well, though there are a growing number of schools that do not require test scores for admissions. Please note there are 4 accounts that you will need to create: Naviance, the Common Application, College Board, and FAFSA. You will need to have a username and password for each, and the colleges you're interested in applying to should be listed on each account. Students use Naviance early in high school for learning more about themselves, careers, and colleges. In junior year, they start college searches and input colleges they are thinking about. Senior year, students use Naviance to let their high schools know where they're applying, to request letters of recommendation, and to do related surveys. The Common Application is one online application which many U.S. colleges accept. Students can fill out the one application, add multiple colleges to their online list, and then send it to the colleges on the list. Not all colleges accept the Common App, so students will need to check to see if their colleges accept it or if they must apply online to certain colleges. The College Board is where students can research colleges and create lists of schools that they're interested in. Students will also go to this site to sign up for additional SAT tests beyond what's taken at school in April of their junior year, and send their test scores directly to the colleges to which they are applying. Some schools require families to fill out an additional financial aid form called the CSS Profile. The CSS Profile is accessed through the student's College Board account. In October or later of senior year, students will fill out the free application for federal student aid, or the FAFSA, an online form filled out and signed by the student and a parent, which includes family, income, and asset questions. Students also input their college lists on the FAFSA. There are FAFSA completion nights in October at Deering and Portland High that any local senior or family can attend. There is help at all of the high schools through the guidance offices and through Make It Happen. Finance Authority of Maine, or FAME, staff are also available to help as well. An important note about financial aid. Even if your student has completed the FAFSA and shows need, many colleges do not meet the full financial need of the student. This is why we suggest students also apply to financial aid safety colleges, colleges that are cheaper or more likely to meet their financial need.
It's very helpful for students to visit at least one college. Ideally, students visit colleges to help them decide where they're going to apply. But if that's not possible, seeing at least one college is far better than none. Colleges offer official tours and information sessions. Sign up for a tour and/or information session on the college's website. Go to the admissions page, look for Visit, and select the date and time for your visit. It's best to sign up for a tour, usually an hour, and an information session, also usually an hour. You'll not have time to visit more than 2 colleges per day. Some colleges allow you to sign up for an interview while you're on the campus. This is another opportunity for you to tell the college about your strengths and to learn more about the college. Most colleges don't require interviews, but some do, and they usually help. However, if you do sign up for an interview, you can talk with your school counselor to help you prepare. Colleges offer a variety of deadlines. Early decision is only for a tiny percentage of students who are completely ready to commit to only their favorite competitive college. If accepted, students are required to go. Demonstrated need, according to the FAFSA, is generally met by these colleges. Early action means that a student applies early and finds out early about acceptance, but they are not committed to attending. Regular decision deadlines are generally in January, including January 1st, February, and March. Most students still want to complete these applications prior to winter break. Rolling admissions means that students can apply anytime and can usually find out about a month later. Popular majors are sometimes full early in the year, however. The FAFSA can be filled out starting in October 1st, for the following academic year. It requires the students and parents' tax information from the previous year. The best way to qualify for the most money is to apply early. Be aware of deadlines, which vary by school, and be sure to submit the FAFSA and any other required information on time. It is always free to file the FAFSA, and it must be filled out each year that your student applies for financial aid. Some of the more selective schools require the CSS Profile, which asks for more information about your family's financial situation. The CSS Profile is accessed through your student's College Board login. Schools set their own deadlines for the CSS Profile. You can find the deadline on each school's financial aid website. There is a fee to file the CSS profile. Those students who have or are eligible for a fee waiver for the SAT can apply that for the CSS profile as well. Often colleges will send 2 letters. One says that if you are accepted or not, and one says how much it will cost to attend. If you are accepted, the college will ask you to sign into their portal. Read everything. They read everything they send and reply to their request promptly. They will ask you to commit to one college by May 1st by sending a deposit. Only commit to one college. This deposit, usually about $500, will be deducted from your tuition. After you send the deposit, you will want to complete the surveys about your choices for roommate, meal plan, health insurance, course signups, orientation, etc.
The last piece we'll speak about is financial aid. Financial aid is made up of 3 major parts. The grants or scholarships, which is free money, a student receives from a college based on need or merit. Loans, which must be repaid starting 6 months after they stopped attending college, and work study, money offered to students to earn money at a college campus job. Together, these 3 types of aid make up a student's financial aid package. The package is most often accessed online. The most important thing you can do to maximize your aid is to identify and meet schools' financial aid requirements and deadlines. After students apply, check their college portals regularly, as schools will often indicate missing or additional needs there. Financial aid can be confusing, and the process can be different at each school. So don't hesitate to ask questions if you need to. Your counselor can help. The Finance Authority of Maine is a great resource. You can use their website, email them, or call. You could also call or email the financial aid department at colleges or universities. They want to help. There are many scholarships students can apply for by looking on Naviance and College Board. Never pay fees to apply for scholarships. There are ways to reduce costs of college, like living at home instead of in a dormitory or attending an out-of-state college for reduced tuition if a Maine public college does not offer your major. Taking early college courses can reduce the number of courses needed for college graduation, which saves money and can help orient the student to college life. Maine's community colleges are great institutions and money savers. There are many options for students who don't want to attend college right after graduation. Some students choose to work full-time or part-time while they are attending training programs, volunteering, or taking college or adult ed classes. Students who are interested in a trade, such as construction, welding, cosmetology, etc., can get prepared for a career, but entering a trade or technical school, or in some cases, through an apprenticeship. Some students choose to enter the military and start the process by talking to a recruiter about the requirements and benefits. Students who choose to take a year off before starting college, often referred to as a gap year, are best off when they are doing some kind of learning or service during this year. College courses, volunteer projects, travel programs, and internships are some of the many options available. If a student is planning to do a gap year, it's a good idea to apply for college during the senior year and then defer their admissions to the following year. And that is our presentation. I think we have plenty of time if people have questions. So. Okay. Great. So if you have questions, you can write them down, and we will collect them.
My next question is, what is better for U.S. colleges, the SAT or the ACT? And I would say typically East and West Coast students use the SAT, and typically students in the middle of the country and colleges in the middle of the country use the ACT. Almost every college will tell you they don't have a preference between the SAT and the ACT. So if your son or daughter or student is someone that does better on the ACT, those are the scores they should send. If they do better on the SAT, those are the scores that they should send. Another question is, for Canadian colleges, should it be the ACT or SAT? And again, we don't think it matters. However, your student scores best would be what we would recommend. And last, this is a financial aid question. If you are self-employed and have some variability in your year-to-year income, how do colleges take that into account? And I would say the quick answer is they only take it into account if you share that information. So I will say a lot of self-employed people tend to do their taxes late, and it's going to be pretty important to do your taxes on time for your students' junior years and senior years, and to be able to have that information for back years as well. And then when you know where your student is thinking about or what your top choices for your student are, you can be calling the financial aid office to talk about that variability and to advocate for your son or daughter's aid package. I hope that's enough information for the self-employed question. I'm going to pass off for more questions.
Okay. The question is, does the school provide logins for Naviance and College Board, and if so, when? So Naviance, we do have some amount of control. We're able to have your students sign up. Once they've created their own password, we can't see that password, but we can assist them by helping them reset the password if needed. And they do choose to use their a private email or their school email as their username. So for Naviance, the school does have some control. At Portland High, we have them sign up starting in 9th grade. Do you, Deering, have them sign up? Yep. And also at Deering, and it looks like in Casco as well? Yep, so 9th grade for Naviance. For College Board, that is entirely controlled by College Board. So a student's College Board account is not connected with the school system at all. We typically, at Portland, have students sign up around the PSAT, so they can really access and use the results of the PSAT test in a thorough way. And that usually happens their sophomore year. But students can sign up at any time for a College Board account. Unfortunately, we can't assist them with recovering passwords or usernames for College Board because it is between the student and College Board. And so that is entirely controlled by College Board. Oh, and then another question was, what organization owns or manages the Common Application? The Common Application you'll find at commonapp.org. It's entirely separate from our school system. We believe it's nonprofit, although we can be fact-checked on that, I'm sure. But it is separate from the school, and it does exist just to help students and colleges have an easier time with the college application process.
I have a question here. Typically, are community college credits transferable to other public and private colleges? And the answer is yes. An accredited community college course can be transferable to a public or private college. However, how that college chooses to use that information is completely up to the receiving college. For instance, you might receive college credit and they count it toward elective credit, or they might allow you to skip a class there. But always the receiving college has judgment over how they're going to use transfer credit. Another question is, can international students enroll in U.S. universities and colleges? The answer is yes. You have a particular visa that you get to attend a university or college in the United States if you're an international student. You have a visa and you have to, there's things there that you have to prove in terms of being able to get that visa and being able to pay for the tuition. If you're an international student, then you wouldn't qualify for the federal FAFSA. Okay, another question is, when is the ACT test? As we said earlier, the SAT is on Saturday mornings once a month, and the ACT is also on Saturday mornings, but at a different, on a different Saturday morning. Does Portland offer the ACT? Okay, so you can take the ACT at Portland, but Deering, you take the SAT. So it's just when you sign up for the test, you can choose your test date and test location.
So this first question says, are there any handouts available for all this info? And I believe, Grace, that they will be on the website shortly. We will email it as well. And I believe all the school counselors here have copies, so happy to send those out. The next question, where do we get help to prepare students for SAT? At the end of 9th grade to prepare for the next time, especially if they can't afford it. I think that the two of the best ways to do SAT prep are through a program called Let's Get Ready, which is a free program, and they offer it typically twice a year, 3 times a year, and it's a great course. This year, I think right now it's being offered at Deering on Mondays and Wednesdays. And that is taught typically by college students, and I think there's a partnership with Bowdoin College where students come in and help. Another really great way is a website that we mentioned earlier called Khan Academy. You can link your Khan Academy to your College Board account, and it's really does a nice job of identifying what subjects you need to work in, and in particular, like in math, what specific areas you need to focus on. So those are 2 great resources.
Would the AP testing be something similar to that? Where would you find prepping for AP testing?
Yeah, the question was for AP testing, where would you find support? So College Board and Khan Academy as well?
Depending on who your student's AP teacher is, this year for the first time the College Board has opened up a bunch of sample questions for that AP subject that are available online, that are available to all students for free. So that is something that the teacher of the course has to choose to open up, but that's available to all students, and I believe most teachers have chosen to open that up so that students could practice with real questions, and that our AP teachers in general are also, I think, doing a really fine job of making sure their courses are the right prep to do well on those exams.
Thank you.
This next question, if we have questions after reviewing the info provided, do we ask our child's school counselor? Absolutely. We are all here to help. Please come see us. Our doors are always open. We are busy, but we will do anything we can to help support you and your family. And each school has a different structure of what that support looks like, but we are all more than happy to answer questions. And the last question, any advice for applying to Canadian colleges? Yeah, in the fall, there is a fabulous Canadian college fair. I think there's over 20 or so Canadian colleges that come to Maine. And they stick around, and they also come and visit Casco Bay and Deering and Portland High, and are open to meet with students. The one thing, Canadian colleges are typically less expensive than colleges in the States. However, it's important to know that most of them do not accept the FAFSA. So that's an important piece to be aware of. But I think I probably speak for all of our schools where every year we have numerous students attending Canadian colleges, and we highly recommend them.
The question I have is asking about the agreement with the other New England state colleges. So I'm going to give you a website, but there is a tuition break program. It's been around for a very long time, but it allows folks to take a look at if there's a school in another New England state that may offer a program that one in Maine doesn't. So for example, if a student was interested in African studies and a Maine school doesn't offer that, and they would be looking at UMass Lowell, that would be an opportunity for them to get a tuition break. Typically that break, we have in-state tuition, out-of-state tuition. The tuition break for New England schools is somewhere in the middle. It's not necessarily got to be in-state tuition, but again, it's usually right between the in-state and out-of-state tuition rates for each school. The website for that is nebhe.org. And then there are some programs that they won't offer that agreement between, but many of them they will. So from Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. And so there's lots of great information on that website. Again, it's nebhe.org. Other questions?
So we will be hanging out here afterwards, so if you have other questions, feel free to ask us. And again, feel free to make appointments with your student school counselor. We're happy to talk you through any part of this process, and happy to do that starting in 9th grade with your son or daughter. So thank you all very much for coming. Thank you.